I don't want to get ahead of myself, but today is a good day. Justice won over politics. It's been a long time coming for anybody who was in the courtroom. It was very difficult to sit and listen to what we witnessed, and we're obviously very thankful to the judge, and I couldn't be prouder of representing this family. They've waited a long time to get some justice, and today was actually probably the biggest day since they've been in custody. I'm going to let them talk. I'm going to just say a couple of things. We heard and saw a lot of performative art, performative theatrics from the DA's office. The fact remains, and by the way, he's here. I had him under subpoena. Brock Lunsford, who was hardly, if you knew Brock like I knew Brock, the idea that he's some kind of a toady is laughable. And you should ask him some questions. I subpoenaed him here today, but I did not put him on the stand. He, I thought, did the right thing, the brave thing. I, in the courtroom, apologized to the family. I have seen something that I've never seen before, where a DA's office who basically hired for a head of victim services, somebody who was absolutely at odds with everybody behind here, and then gave them no support whatsoever, and then traumatized them again by throwing what I only consider to be an abhorrent picture up on the screen without warning, by the way, that I would have been chastised for if I did it as a defense lawyer. I just think all in all, it was an important day, a great day, and I'm thankful to everybody behind me for entrusting me. I'm thankful to Cliff Gardner, who ran away. Where are you? Come over here, Cliff.
I didn't get away yet.
Come here. I'm going to tell one small story about Cliff, and then I'll let him talk, and I'll duck out. About 2 years ago, when we were talking, and by the way, we still have an unblemished record. If we work together, we have an unblemished record. And we were talking about the writ of habeas corpus, and that was almost a little over 26 months ago.
Yeah.
And we said, rather than filing this as a pro per, having them represent themselves, why don't we just do it? Because we enjoy working with each other. And so we did it together. Now I joke.
Worst decision we ever made.
Ever made, yes, because Cliff will tell you he does nothing but post-conviction litigation. Is there any case you've had more post-conviction litigation on than this case?
Sadly, no.
Yeah, sadly, no. So hat tip to Cliff, who I think is the best appellate lawyer of his generation. Hat tip to the family, and they'll all talk. And thank you all for paying attention today.
Today's a good day. Thank you guys for being here. Today's ruling affirms something that should never have been in question. The facts, fairness, and the law still matter. The court made clear that this process isn't about politics. It's about truth. It's about justice. And it's about giving people the chance to show who they are now, not just who they were in their worst moment. We're especially grateful to former DA George Gascon, Nancy, Brock, and the entire team who took the time to do a real, rigorous, and fair review of Eric and Lyle's case. Their conclusion wasn't based on sympathy or politics. It was based on evidence. They combed through decades of records. They looked at Eric and Lyle's rehabilitation, their education, their contributions to others inside prison, and they applied the law exactly as it was intended, without bias, without agenda, and with integrity. Eric and Lyle have taken full responsibility for what they did, And for decades now, they've continuously shown their insight through their actions, not just their words. They've apologized to us repeatedly over the years and have exemplified growth and healing. They've lived with accountability every day, all while knowing that if they'd have all of that, while never knowing they'd ever have a chance at release. They've supported fellow inmates through grief and terminal illness. Their work isn't performative. It's purposeful. It's real. We look forward to a full, fair presentation of who Eric and Lyle are today, not just a version frozen in time, in a time of pain and fear, but the whole truth. The growth, the humanity, and the men they've become. We're not naive. We know hope can be fragile, but we believe that the law is on our side. And for today, that's enough. Thank you for being here.
Can we get your name and spelling again?
Anna Maria Baralt.
And the spelling?
You want to spell my name? It's really long. All right, first name, Anamaria, Baralt, Baralt, and I am the niece of Jose and Kitty Menendez.
Thank you for speaking with us. Did any of you gauge the reaction of Lyle and Eric or have a chance to speak with them?
No, we haven't spoken to them yet, and I don't think any of us gauge their reaction quite yet. So we're looking forward to that for sure.
What was the reaction from the family when those graphic crime scene images were displayed?
You know, yet again, we were re-traumatized by this district attorney's office. Again, third time in a couple of months. So that's hard. That's hard. We've had to live in the spotlight for the last 35 years. It doesn't get easier for us. And so to sit there again in the courtroom and have him do it again, that's hurtful.
Piece of shit move.
Do you think this brings them?
The judge ruling that you get to have a hearing so you can present the evidence to say they should be resentenced. This is what they've done for the last 35 years.
We do. It was heartening to see that. I believe that the judge, I'm not a lawyer, so I'll let the lawyers do the lawyering, but it was nice to see the judge ruled fairly, thoughtfully, heard arguments. There was one glaring lie told by the DA's office today, and that's that his presentation was only 2.5 hours long. It was not. It was much longer than that. So for sure they got their point across, and the judge still ruled in our favor, so we're grateful.
If you get a chance to speak before the court on Thursday or Friday for you and other relatives, what is it that you will say to the judge to try and convince him that Eric and Lyle Menendez should be free?
We get to talk about who they are as people. We get to talk about their growth. We get to talk about their expressions of remorse and their rehabilitation. So we're all looking forward to that.
Is it growth in prison or normal activities?
I'm not sure I understand the question.
Like their growth in prison or is it?
Well, they've spent the last 35 years
Understand that?
incarcerated, so certainly they've grown anyway, right? They're not kids anymore, they're adults, but they have gone way above and beyond any expectations.
If they were black, would they have been given the same right
Yes, they would have.
I believe that they would have.
The DA,
after 35 years?
Yes.
Anna Maria, the DA has made it very clear over and over again that Eric and Lyle Menendez have not taken responsibility or accountability for their crimes.
That is patently false. They have, repeatedly. I don't know why he keeps repeating that. That's just not true. They have.
What do you say to those people who think that they may still be a danger to society if they are free?
I think that's absurd to those people. Absolutely absurd.
You guys still have next week to go through.
Yes.
Do you have any hesitation or is there still any little bit of worry that it might not fully go in your guys' way next week at all?
Of course. There's no way for us to predict how next week is going to go. We have great faith in the system. We have great faith that justice is going to prevail. We have great faith that this judge is acting based on the law. So that gives us hope because they've certainly earned it.
And if you could say something right now to Eric and Lyle, what would you say?
We're so proud of you. We're so proud of you. We're going to fight for you forever. And I really hope this happens.
Maria, what do you want to say to the district attorney who your family has felt that
You can start today, is what I would say to the DA. It's not too late. You can start listening to us now.
Anna Marie, will we get to hear from Eric and Lyle next week?
I believe that they're going to prepare statements. I don't know that they will be testifying. That's a lawyer question, so I'm not sure. Yeah.
Well, I was just thinking because, you know, the prosecution is basically saying their whole issue is that they believe they haven't accepted full responsibility. Why not just put them out there so they can hear from them and eliminate that roadblock?
Again, that would be a question for their legal team.
Okay.
Yeah. Anything else? Yeah, good.
All right, thank you, everyone.
you.
That concludes the press conference.
Mark's still here.
He's back there.
Can we get Mark back up real quick?
That's Mark.
That's a question for Mark. Another question for Mark.
Free both.
Menendez family.
Family, got it. Of course.
I love you too. We're going to the hotel. We're going together.
So what's up with you?
Hey, Brock.
How you been?
So you were subpoenaed, huh?
Yep, I was.
I wondered why you were here.
Do you want to say a couple of
Sure. No, no, go ahead.
No, I was going to take my
Oh.
phone. Okay, that's fine.
Take it.
Did you want to say something?
Do you guys mind? Thank you. Good afternoon, everybody. Sure, my name is Brock Lunsford. I've been a prosecutor in the Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office for 25 years. When I co-wrote the petition that was just litigated, I was the assistant head deputy of the post-conviction litigation division with Nancy Thaberge. We filed it according to the law. We did our thorough research. We did our thorough preparation. We filed a legal document. This wasn't political. This wasn't an attempt to gain an advantage of some sort. It was simply following the law. This is something we've done many, many, many times on other cases with other defendants. And yet this has happened on this case. On Monday, Ms. Thaberge and I filed a lawsuit suing Nathan Hochman and the County of Los Angeles for retaliation and harassment, as well as defamation for what has occurred to us as a result of us doing our job on this case. I still stand by my work, and it's vindicating to see that Judge Jessic said that we did nothing wrong with our filing of this legal document. I know that I didn't do anything wrong. I know that I did my job and did it the best I could. I followed the law and addressed all the criteria for the Menendezes that's in the statute. They meet all of the criteria that are in the statute for resentencing. I know that's what I did. I can let Mr. Hochman speak as to why he did what he did. I was transferred out of management and out of post-conviction before Mr. Hochman even came into office. So as soon as the election was won, 2 weeks later, I was told that I was out of management and out of the post-conviction area.
One thing I can't understand is how can they have shown proper insight if they're still claiming self-defense?
The thing is in the statute, Frank, there's nothing that says they need to show insight. This is something that has been sort of adopted into the public arena, and there's nothing in the statute that says that their insight is necessary for them to be resentenced. It's very clear what's codified. It's been redone several times by the legislature, and they've never said that the defendants need to show insight to be resentenced. That's something that's occurred here.
But doesn't their continuing claim of self-defense raise questions about their full remorse?
If it's true, it wouldn't raise questions of anything other than their mental state at the time of the murder.
Your name, sir, and spell it for us?
Brock, B-R-O-C-K, L-U-N-S-F-O-R-D. And the lady who I wrote this with, who was my co-author on this, is Nancy, N-A-N-C-Y, Thaberge, T-H-E-B-E-R-G-E. She was actually transferred completely out of the district attorney's office after she filed, or after we did our job, essentially.
How do you pronounce your last name, sir?
My last name? Lunsford. Okay, thank you all.